All right, well, Norman, we might kick things off. Welcome, everyone, to today's session where we're taking a look at how, in essence, to build your SMSF knowledge. My name is Aaron Dunn, CEO of Smarter SMSF, and I'm joined today by Norman Michael, who's the training manager at BGL. Thanks for your time, Norman. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Aaron. Hi, everybody. I'm Norman. I'm training manager here at BGL, and I've been with BGL for going on 11 years now. So, believe it or not, 11 years at BGL, with 9 of those years as part of the training team. So, I've kind of got to witness how training has evolved and grown over some time at BGL. So, we've kind of had experience with I guess within the training team itself with training and onboarding new staff as well. So it's not only external training, but also internal training with our staff. So that's why I'm really excited to have everybody here today. We're going, going to go through some of the help resources and some of the onboarding resources that we actually implement with Aaron's course. And he'll talk about how that kind of impacts the whole onboarding process. And I can say from experience, looking back at how initially I was onboarded onto BGL, where we were literally given training manuals that we had to read through. Now we've got an online course that's a lot more engaging, a lot more interesting to look at, and it's also delivered in a way that it helps you retain more information as well. But furthermore, when we come back to me a little bit later, I'm really excited to also show you what we've got in store for you with the BGL training side. So we've got some courses on the online learning space, which I'm really excited to show you. But yeah, that's it, me for now. I'll send it back to you, Aaron.
Excellent. Thank you. So a little bit about what we'll cover today to help you understand what we've been doing with BGL. And as Norman said, this is a partnership that goes back a long, long time. And we want to share with you, I guess, our approach to education in the SMSF space and why we're recognized as a market leader there. And then from there, touch on the way in which we are approaching our courses. And as you can see on the slide, we have a very distinct approach to deal with the different levels of knowledge that sit within your practice and where you are and maybe where you want to get to as well. So that starter, smarter, smartest approach is a real core to the way in which we deliver SMSF education. We're going to explain a little bit about the courses that we have and the benefits of those various courses. And then what we'll do is we will revert back into, in essence, the live demo, and we'll go in and show you via the BGL learning channel, not only how you can access it from within Simple Fund 360, but then go in and actually show you what the course looks like, the way it's been built, and how you can obviously develop and grow your knowledge using that particular content. Today, we're going to show you not only our rebranded Essentials course, but we're also going to give you some insights into our Foundations course, our starter course, which we'll show you via our own Smarter SMSF platform, but you'll see over the next week or so that will then be added to the learning channel as well. And then as we kind of get to the back end of today, I want to just talk to you about the benefits of the staff and why this course content is so beneficial within your practice. And I think Norman hit the nail on the head there, and it would be great to have a chat to him about it. I literally only had a chat to the CEO, Daniel Tremontana, about it on Monday as well, catching up with him of what a transformational difference it makes in an organization like a BGL to actually be able to onboard staff in an entirely different way to the way Norman might have been onboarded 11 years ago. And that helps at all levels of that organization, because within BGL, you've got frontline support teams that would be talking to you on a day-to-day basis that need to understand some real fundamentals as to what's going on, right through to different parts of the business. If we think about Simple Fund 360, and as the software develops and the technical proficiencies that need to occur, you've then got other levels of course content that would be able to suit them as well. So that kind of gives you a bit of an outline. We'll talk to the pricing and some FAQs and stuff there too. So we did start initially, and you will see today you refer to what is called our SMSF Foundations course, but that previously was a brand position that we had on our former course, which in essence has been recut, rebranded, repurposed into SMSF Essentials. It has been a highly successful course. We've had a large number of students go through it, not only through our own platform, but obviously through our affiliated distribution, such as the BGL Learning Channel. But what has really allowed us to ramp up the way in which we want to deliver our education and training is the inclusion now of having Tim Miller on board, in addition to myself, around technical SMSF education and CPD. And what that has allowed us to do is to not only restructure how we provide that training, but also look at ways in which we can offer affordable and scalable education solutions to you. So therefore, the approach that we've done here enables us to be able to plug into something like the BGL Learning Channel, so that it enables you within a single platform to go, all right, I'm looking at certain things within Simple Fund 360, but I can toggle over or switch over into the Learning Channel very simply and seamlessly and go and undertake some training as well. And you can, in essence, be interplaying between the two. One of the key things that we have also finalized over the course of the last couple of months is that we have also, with both courses, entered into an agreement with the SMSF Association that will provide any student that completes and successfully completes one of our two courses will get access to a up to 12-month complimentary period of membership. So not only do you get the benefit of the learning outcomes, but if you have an interest, obviously, in progressing in the profession of SMSFs, there is an opportunity to have a pathway towards membership with our peak body at the SMSF Association at either an affiliate or at an associate level. I'll explain a little bit more about those as well. And I guess finally here, as a business, we are one of only a couple of accredited SMSF educators within this industry. You can find out a little bit more about that when we share the slides with you and the links there. But we are recognized, obviously, for our technical excellence when it comes to SMSFs. So when we think about our education and so forth, I'm not going to go through and bore with all the detail here, but just to, I guess, analyze and understand how we approach education and why this is so important. What we're going to focus on today is the two things that you can see I've highlighted at the bottom, and that is our Foundations course and our Essentials course, which you will be able to access via the BGL Learning Channel. And you can see there we've got a little bit about the target audience, but I'm going to touch on it in more detail here. So our Foundations course here has, in essence, been recently built and is now available to access via our channel. And as I said, in the next week or so, Norman's working through that build phase at the moment. We're providing all the files and getting all the assessments and all the certificates, all the joys that keep him very busy. But we have this foundation level course now that is designed to provide a base level of knowledge on SMSFs. So that naturally targets people like new graduates. It can help administration staff. You may have offshore teams. These are all sort of target areas of students that would benefit from this course that is set up as 6 modules and is about 10 hours in total to complete. We then move along our SMSF journey that takes us to the SMSF Essentials course. And this was previously our Foundations course, but we have in essence pumped it up a lot more into something that now looks more like an intermediate or smarter level of knowledge. So this here is designed to help you better understand what is essential to navigate your way around self-managed super funds. So it has a slightly different tact in terms of people that it is most appropriate for, certainly in the public practitioner space and advisors, senior managers and so forth. And if I go back a slide, you will also see there sort of some time frames that we've put in place around the different content that we have. Now that we wrapped up our Foundations course, we then move on to the final piece of our jigsaw, which in essence becomes our SMSF advanced course. And this is really the pathway to becoming a specialist in the industry. It takes on and taps into a lot of the content that we deliver through our masterclasses and so forth. And it will ultimately have about 20 plus hours. We haven't determined yet the number of modules, but it could be 10 or more. And clearly there is going to be a pathway with other recognized prior learning credits towards that SMSF specialization. And again, there's an opportunity there that we're talking to the SMSF Association to potentially bolt in the exam to that process. So that gives you an overview of how we are tackling the education journey and potentially in some instances the gap that we see in the marketplace today, to allow you to access it in an e-learning environment and develop your own skills, as I said, to be able to do whatever level of work that you're currently working on. So let's jump down and first kick off with our new SMSF Foundations course. So here, as I said, this is all about broadening the concepts of superannuation to new entrants about what is key. So it has naturally been written by myself and Tim as SMSF specialists. And as we work through this later, you'll see the interactive nature and the way that we have developed the content that validates the learning outcomes from that particular module. So the benefit of e-learning, of course, is that we might have a recognized period of time, 90 minutes, could be 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the case may be in a particular module. You may be able to complete that quicker. You may take longer. That is the flexibility that the e-learning has for you and enables you to work through and deep dive as much as you want to, because we not only provide video and assessments throughout the module to help validate your learning. We've also got workbooks, we've got reference material, so you can sink your teeth into this as much as you need to ensure that you are adequately skilled in that particular area. And again, I'm going to touch on a little bit later how we see students from the history of the course content that we've had, how they actually accelerate the learning through the utilization of these courses alongside then someone in the organization that really mentors them and helps them to onboard them into that maybe a new role or into their existing role within the business. So as I said, this is for graduates, offshore teams, admin staff, less than a couple of years. It includes the complimentary period of membership with the affiliate membership, I should be saying there. And as I mentioned, it is all about concepts that are relevant to that individual. So that affiliate membership is valued at $260. And therefore, once you have completed, you will receive communication through the learning channel that will in essence say, congratulations, you completed the course. And here are some next steps that are available for you to take so that you can then obviously go through and access that via the SMSF Association. And I might just, before I jump to that, I might just quickly then explain the Essentials course. So again, this is designed to help fill the knowledge gaps and really supports that intermediate knowledge around SMSF. So senior accountants, paraplanners, public practitioners that might be more generalist rather than specialists, other client managers and so forth. We also see it used quite often in refreshers. So the fact that, yes, people might have some specialist level of knowledge, but there are certain elements to the course that people want to be able to access. Contribution rules keep changing. So it provides an opportunity to go in and access those particular modules and work through a topic because, as we know in superannuation, things constantly change. So one of the things that we have added within the tax module in most recent times, the fact that that's been updated to December, is we now have content in there that talks about Division 296 and also the NALI and NALI rules that the government is looking to finalise as well. So the differences here in the Essentials course, other than the fact that it's obviously pitched at a different level, is the timeframes for access. It is 18 accredited hours as opposed to 10. It is 7 modules instead of 6. So we do provide you with 4 months of access to the Essentials course as opposed to 3 months of access via the SMSF Foundations course. And again, here, upon completion, you do have the ability to go and claim your eligible complimentary period of membership with the SMSF Association, and the associate membership, obviously something more towards a pathway, a specialization, valued at $620. So I might just quickly jump across to the SMSF Association website here, just to show you what I'm talking about with this. So what you'll see here is on the SMSF Association site, there is, in essence, what is the complimentary offer. So once you've completed that Smarter SMSF course, you then have the opportunity, and you'll get all the communication about this as part of the process, the associate or affiliate membership. And again, it's linked to that relevant course. And there are some benefits, obviously, to that membership that you get. And the view then is naturally that from a membership point of view, there would be an opportunity for you to then continue into the future. This provides you with a period of up to 12 months. So the renewal date with this is the 31st of March each year. So as it stands, if someone completed the course today, they would get 13 months of complimentary membership as part of this process. Okay, so just to be clear, if it was then completed at 30 June, they would get 9 months of benefit as part of this process. So it is based upon the anniversary date being a hard date of the 31st of March each year. So let's jump back into the slides here. So the other thing here that's now worth noting, is we have both access to the courses here today via the Learning Channel, and then also via the Smarter SMSF website. So what I'm going to, I might, Norman, just kick off with the Foundations course, given that that's, I guess, at the bottom of the mountain, is I'm going to share with you at the moment, because this is on our own platform at the moment, and as I said, will be added to the Essentials course. So what I wanted to share with you here is that if we jump into the contributions one, and it doesn't matter which one we ultimately pick here, but you will see the ability to access this course in a very similar way in both the BGL course, BGL Learning Channel, and via the Smarter SMSF platform. So here you have the ability to access the course, and then within this, you can see all of the relevant content that is being added down the right-hand side, so you can go backwards and forwards and interact in here. Okay, so the modules, as I said before, there are 6 in the Foundations course, and then in essence with the Essentials course, we have 7 there as well. So just again, as a distinction between our Foundations course and then the Essentials course. So I am going to here, Norman, get you to maybe just explain how people can come in and access via the BGL Learning Channel.
Yeah, sure thing. Actually, I might share my screen.
Yep.
It's all right.
Yep, go for it.
And let's do that. So you should be able to see Simple Fund 360 at this point. Now, if you've got a BGL product, whether that be Simple Fund 360 or CAS 360, or if you've been Simple Invest as well, all our clients have access to the Learning Channel, and you'll be able to do that from within the actual software itself. So if we go to the top right-hand corner, you'll see your app switcher. And one of the options you'll have in the app switcher, apart from any other softwares that you have with BGL, is the Learning Channel. Now, by clicking on that Learning Channel, it will direct you to the Learning Channel page. And this is what the Learning Channel page is going to look like. We've just recently done a revamp of the page. So if you visited before today, it would have looked a lot different. But we made something a bit easier to kind of navigate across into. So the first thing you will see is some banners, and the banners will be there to promote other new courses that we implement. So there you can see Aaron's courses, which I'll get to in a moment. But you'll have a link to all the other resources and the courses that we have available from a BGL point of view. Also, if we're running any events within the next month or so. So next month, we've got a masterclass running. So if you weren't aware, we're running a masterclass, which is a face-to-face event, and it's an event that's led by our product head. So the head of CAS 360, Simple Fund 360, and Simple Invest 360. There are tickets available. Tickets are about $60 each, and it'll give you a chance to interact with them, find out the best practices within all the products as well. So if you're definitely interested, head to our website and sign up for that. Any new courses like the CAS certification, but also you've got the essentials and the foundations course. So if you do want to sign up for those, you can click on the link there, and then you'll be able to pick whichever course that you want to sign up for, whether that be essentials or foundations. Now below, you've also got a tracker for your courses that you've got assigned to you. So whether you've started any of the BGL courses or any of Aaron's courses that he's developed as well, you'll have them there. Now, on the right-hand side, you've also got recommended courses. So as we continue to add courses throughout the year, whether that be a webinar that we do, we'll have them appearing in here. So the Learning Channel is there to almost be a hub for you to revisit some past webinars or perhaps any online training that we've developed for you. If you ever do want to go and view the library of content, you've got the Learning Library at the top here, and that'll take you to your content library. Again, if you have, let's say, Simple Fund 360, you'll have access to the level 1, level 2, and level 3 courses complimentary of BGL. And the purpose is we do want everybody to be able to use the software. So it's one thing getting the software and another thing learning it. So as long as we have these resources available to you, if you have new staff, jump at the Learning Channel, and that'll get you started to learning how to navigate across the program, how to use a lot of the common features and the best features within the software itself. We've also done a revamp of the courses themselves to make them a lot more interactive, a lot more engaging as well. So if I show you the level 1 training, this is our new level 1 training. It's similar to the format that Aaron showed you about his courses, where you've got all the different modules within the courses. You can click whichever module that you want to go to. By essence, there is a list between module 1, module 2, module 3, indicating there is an order to it. But if you did want to, you can go into whichever topic that you wanted to learn about. So let's say we'll go into the reports for an example.
So Norman, whilst that's loading, I think this is a really good point to reference the fact that we have a section, one of the modules that are called reporting and trustee responsibilities. So blending these two levels of learning together, I feel is really valuable and does accelerate that learning piece.
Yeah, most definitely. Here I've got an example of one of the videos that we've created as part of our learning modules. So not only in these we have videos just outlining how the product essentially works and all the different features there. We've also got information pages, interactive pages, and also simulations of the product. One of the things, because we are a software company, is with our online training is how can somebody kind of get experience with actually using the program through that course. So one of the things that we've done is also created things like a interactive where it simulates the program. It gives you kind of a wizard showing you, hey, this is what you click on, and this is the feature and how it essentially works. And you can kind of go through that process as well. So not only will you have just videos of us giving you information, but you'll have that practice element as well in it. But again, with all these courses, you'll be able to go through them, go through all the modules, and at the end of all the courses, you'll have access to a certificate just saying you're certified within whatever lesson that you've completed. Now, generally, the certificate will be given to you at the end of the course once you complete it, or you can always go back to your achievements tab at the top here, and you'll be able to download all the certificates through there. But yeah.
Very good. That's a massive shift from where I last saw it, I reckon. But
Yeah.
I just learned some stuff myself, which is great.
Yeah, no, we've put a lot into revamping this learning channel. Yeah, just to make it a lot more easier to navigate and yeah, go through courses as well. And hopefully, when everybody jumps on it, yeah, they'll be able to see how engaging it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. Again, going back to the comment I made before, I think hopefully people will then see the connection between the technical training that Smarter SMSF is adding in here, and then how it can be applied practically with the different modules that BGL have created within the Simple Fund 360 product. And I'm assuming that this then, equally applies when you look at CAS 360 or you look at Simple Invest 360 and so forth as well.
Yeah.
So
We did actually had a question that did pop up. It's a really good question, and one of the questions, thanks, Sarah,
yep.
is can you assign topics and modules to users? The answer is actually yes. So all these courses are on everybody's library. I'll make that clear. So any person can go to the learning library and start a course. But yeah, it might be useful if you assign somebody a course, so that way it always shows up on their home screen as soon as they log in to the learning channel. The person that can assign topics or modules would be the first point of contact within BGL for your firm. So if you log into the learning channel, you'll see a tab for your users in the learning channel screen. But if you don't see that, perhaps it might mean that you're not that person for your firm, and you can always get in touch with us to get us to set that up for you as well. So answer is yes, but yeah, if you don't see those options, just get in contact with us, log a support call, and we'll be able to sort that out for you.
Very good. All right. Well, should I take the share back and maybe go
Yep.
and navigate through the course myself?
Yep, sure thing. Go ahead.
Very good. Okay, so as Norman said, then we've come in here in essence into the essentials course. I like the fact that we've got some good stars there, Norman, as well. So that obviously helps to validate that people that have used it this way have enjoyed it. But as Norman explained before, we have built this out in a modularized approach, and it tells you at what part of the journey you're at in respect to those different modules. So if I go into, say, taxation here, what you will then see in a similar way to what you saw with the BGL training before is that you then have the ability to view the information in here in respect to each of those modules. So as we go through and we look at any of those particular modules, you can then see the content appear, and you will then be able to work through the particulars of each of those materials. So what you have with the Smarter SMSF courses here is, again, a combination of video-based content. You then have audio, which I'm just going to put it on mute here, but any of these particular topics will have audio that explain content. There'll be videos that are in here as well that talk through a particular topic of, in this instance, what a contribution is. And then it will have a number of activities or interactions that actually get you to validate and understand the learnings here, and subject to whether you type in the right answer or not, it will either kind of give you the thumbs up or the thumbs down as you work through. So the blending of video, audio, and of course, written materials, of which every module has its own course material. So you can see here, there's about 49 pages worth of content, and you've got all of the information that you can work through in here. And any of the modules that you can see, the activities that you see within the modules like this, you will then see within the workbooks as well. So this here will show you the complete CPD breakdown and how it's mapped for the different professional bodies and the legislated CPD requirements for financial advisors, for example. And then it goes through and talks about the learning outcomes, the details of all the different topics that we talk through. And there'll be a number of links and references within that approach as well. So within each module with the resources, you then also get a number of additional materials. So it might be, in this instance, a flow chart that explains how the rules work from 70 up to age 75, of course, when we trigger it in year 1, and then what happens thereafter, and the fact that if it's less than $1.9 million or over 1.9 million, and et cetera, et cetera. So there's not only the written materials, but there are a range of other things in addition to the tax rulings and other guides that we feel are important as you work through the particular topic. In some instances in the modules, we might reference documents that we provide via Smarter SMSF as well. But the idea here is that you work through the module and complete it, and then you go and complete the assessment that is attached to the module at that particular point in time. Now, you might not have time to complete a module in one go. Don't worry, because it will recognize where you finished if you leave that and then go back. So I'm at this point here. If I then left the module and I went back and I went off and had to do some work or had a meeting, whatever the case may be, I can then go back in and click on that module. And then what it will enable us to do is come back into the module and then in essence start again. So I'm just going to jump on this again. Hopefully this comes up, and it will prompt you whether you want to resume from where you last left. Okay, so you don't need to go, actually, where was I at? I was at slide 15. You simply go, yes, I want to kick off from where I was previously, and it will keep you going at that point in time. So the idea here is you can literally use any blending of learning. It is fully mobile responsive. So you can do this on a tablet. You can do it on your mobile phone if you're sitting on the train. You can do it on your PC. You can do it with team-based training if you wanted to. Of course, if you're doing team-based training, only the person that is registered for this is going to get acknowledgement with a CPD certificate. But there are various ways, obviously, that can be achieved. And that's most importantly why we've actually built the content in this particular way. So as I said, you have the ability to complete the module, go and then do your assessment. The assessment has a pool of questions. You can see the pass mark that is required. You can see the time limit that you have, and it gives you sufficient time to be able to work through and validate the learning that you have. And that's the most important thing. And I go back to a comment that I made earlier, and that comment was, yes, there might be 2 hours of content in a particular module or 3 hours. If you can complete it in an hour and a half and you can do the assessment and pass that successfully, that is validating the learning. If you need to take 5 hours to complete a 3-hour module, that is also fine. That is the beauty of building content in this way, to enable you to work at a pace that ultimately suits you. So as I said, we've got here available our essentials course, all been updated in essence to take you through, in some modules, to December 2023, the other modules in essence taking you through to July 2023. And we update these fairly regularly. And I say fairly regularly, at least it goes once a year, but there's some reasons we need to update it multiple times. So a good example of that is in our module 5, where we've introduced the Division 296 proposed tax, where we had changes to July, but we've now made some changes to December that pick up, obviously, the updates that we've made around those particular things. And as a business, we maintain the currency of this content because we naturally do other training throughout the year, such as our Changing Face of SMSF, which is literally a technical and regulatory update about what's going on. So it gives us enough reason to be reviewing our course content on an ongoing basis to make sure that it is remaining as current as it can possibly be, because we know the importance of that for you in the job that you do each and every day as well. So, Norman, is there anything else you wanted to add around the learning channel and accessing it before we maybe just head back to the slides and wrap up for today?
No, no, I think we've pretty much shown them all the features there
Yep.
with everything there. But yeah, it's definitely something that we invite you all to explore. But yeah, if you want to check out some free courses, the free courses are the BGL courses that
Yep.
you guys can have a look at. It'll give you an experience of understanding how the courses work, and very much Aaron's course works in that way as well.
Yep. Absolutely. So I want to ask you a couple of questions here, Norman, because I'd love to get you to tell people how our course actually gets used within BGL, because it's been, the foundations course we initially built was there, and I know Doug originally, and I know Richard now runs the support, but for users that kind of are thinking, well, yeah, this looks all really good, but how does it actually get used in practice? Both Daniel and you, and I know others in the past, have come to me and talked about the fact that this is kind of embedded now in BGL in terms of onboarding of new staff, and then how the different parts of the business actually tap into our course content to actually help them in their day-to-day job.
Yeah, so as far as the onboarding, how it's kind of evolved. So I did mention before when I started, it was quite literally they gave us textbooks to read and manuals to read through. So everything was on paper. We'd kind of go through them in our, I guess, in our induction period. But that's obviously evolved over time, and especially when COVID happened, all these online resources, kind of the demand for it really shot up. In terms of how it's looking today, if somebody starts at BGL, they'll go through our courses on the online learning channel. So whether that be if they're dealing with Simple Fund 360, let's say a support consultant, they'll be doing the level 1, level 2, level 3 trainings through there. Also, part of their induction will be doing the foundations course or the essentials course now. And that would kind of give them an overview on how super works, but also how that also applies to the actual software as well. Now it's a bit more on hands with the team leaders, or whoever the team leader is. The team leader will check in with the person, see how they're going, clarify any questions. But as Aaron was mentioning, the assessments become important because that lets us know if they're actually retaining information, and also helps the person ensure that they're actually going through the information instead of clicking through and not really completing anything. But also included in that, we also do exercises as well. So exercise in terms of problem solving, because a lot of their job involves finding out what the issues are, reconciling it, and things of that nature. So we also included in that. But the big thing about what Aaron's course has done for us in that period where we had to teach a lot of the super concepts, how SMSFs work, it used to be that manual or that textbook, and we'd also have to develop courses along the year or throughout the year, just with everybody saying, hey, these are the updates, this is how super works, these are the new rules. And obviously with that takes time to prepare those courses. So I might have to spend a few days learning what the new legislation is, develop that into a course, and then present that to all the support team so that they're across all that. But now you've got an online course where it does all that work for you. So it's a little less time for me having to put all that course content together. But also it eliminates the problem where we've got staff turnover as well. And that's one of the biggest things, because let's say throughout a year, you've got 5 new people starting at different points in time. You've already run a session on certain legislation. Yep. But now you've got to make the decision. Do I run that session again? Do I run that for just that one person, or do I have to redo the whole thing again? But now that we've got an online course, once that person joins, they go through the online course, they learn everything that they really need to learn. And we don't have to run through that problem where we have to redevelop courses ourselves. The course is essentially already there, ready to go.
Yeah, so I think the knowledge gain here, which on this slide, if we think about it in the student, is well, how do we onboard a new staff member? Or how do we accelerate the learning? And that was one of the crucial feedbacks I got, initially with the course, is that it kind of feels like someone that comes on now is a month ahead of where they might have been historically. The other part to the equation, and I guess, Norman, you just raised this yourself, and this is certainly relevant in the accounting world and advisor world, is the opportunity cost of when someone does come on. I'm that busy, I don't actually have time to sit down and talk. So you go, well, yeah, we ran a training session in March and there was 5 people, but we've now got someone in June, another person starting in July, and da 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 da. And so the fact that you switch from a managerial point of view, you switch from being the trainer to the mentor here is quite profound. And what we've seen is, if you look at this in the context of the course cost and the opportunity cost in time of chargeable time, we think the gains that come back are between $4,000 and $6,000. So it's quite material in the context of the time in a business when we are all time poor. So what you're doing as the mentor for that team member is you're focusing with them on the job training. And Norman, you raised it before. We then do some team build, some workshop stuff internally. You're not talking to them about the core. You're actually talking to them about this is the practical stuff that you're going to come up with every day in your particular role, that really blends in and overlays on the foundations level training that is being built through the e-learning solution that we have at Smarter SMSF. So our view is you give more autonomy to the student to learn and less dependency upon the manager, and the manager's coming in and going, well, now that you've gone through contributions, have you got any questions for me? What are the things that you understood, and how do you think this applies in the job that you've just done? So that it really shifts the landscape in the way in which you can educate your team members. And then obviously, as if you're the student, the fact that you feel more confident in coming into a particular role and doing a really good job as part of the broader team. So, but I think most importantly, then it is an education journey. The fact that there is not only the course content, it might be a pathway. You might start at foundations and move to essentials, or you might want to look at some other benefits that obviously come with some ongoing training. So to me, knowledge, of course, here is crucial. The fact that you can tap into that, the fact that you can obviously look at the different levels of training, the fact that it's fully flexible for you, that you can do in your own time at your own pace is crucial. You've got some help there with you. We're actually doing a little bit of work at the moment with AI to be able to potentially support, ask questions of the content and actually be able to help validate that learning more. And then if you need it for any CPD purposes, obviously it is accredited anywhere between 10 hours through to 18 hours with our essentials course as well. So let's give you a little bit of detail about the pricing here. So our essentials course, in essence, for the 7 modules, 18 hours over the 4 months, you would get that for $600 plus GST. Successfully complete, you also get the $620 of additional value for your 12 months associate membership with the SMSF Association. Okay, so for $600, you are getting over $1,200 of value. The foundations course, 6 hours, 10 modules, 3 months to complete. That is at $300 plus GST. And then you also, upon successful completion, qualify for the affiliate membership, which in essence is a further $260, so $560 worth of value for the 330. Now, we do also have scenarios, and BGL is the perfect case in point, where if you are part of much larger teams, that this course can actually transpose into your own learning management systems. Now, naturally, that is going to need to look at teams in much larger sizes, but subject to the organization that you're with, as we've done with BGL, these files are portable that allow you to plug into external learning systems that you may have. So if you do have anything like that, I'd suggest getting in contact with us, and we'd be more than happy to explore that too. We are also putting together an offer here. So those that may look to purchase either one of these courses, as we also release the foundations course, any of the first 20 signups for pretty much the remainder of this month, we will also throw in for you our CPD quarterly subscription, which gives you updates to our technical and regulatory webinars that we run in March, June, September, and December, and take a look at all things that are happening within the SMSF sector. So we'll get that report from BGL, and then BGL will get in contact with you to get that set up as well. So the final thing here to note is just, I guess, a range of FAQs. So from the course point of view, it is in essence a single purchase. Yes, you might want to be able to have other people look at it, but it is obviously predicated through the Simple Fund 360 registration, or CAS, or whatever it is. So you're going through the switcher to be able to access the learning channel, and it will recognize the person that is ultimately registered from a CPD point of view. I've already mentioned the fact that we have 3 months of access for the foundations course, 4 months of access for the essentials course, and we are spending a lot of time on an ongoing basis keeping that up to date. And most importantly, we do actually prepare a change log so that if you want to know what has been changed within the relevant courses, you'll be able to click on that change log to be able to access that. And that will then naturally provide you with the ability to go through and go, oh, yeah, okay, so contributions have changed here, and therefore I want to go back and revisit that particular module. So, and again, there's just a couple of things there around the purchasing and who can access it. And if you have some group stuff, we're happy to have a discussion with you on any sort of buying power discount, and or, like I said before, the learning management system, if you have that internally in much larger organizations. We at Smarter SMSF, obviously, at the very beginning, showed you our education matrix. We do run a number of sessions across our CPD solutions throughout the year, whether they are with our online masterclasses, our quarterly updates, our face-to-face events, and a number of complimentary webinars that we go throughout the year. But I will finish off by saying this: every month you will see me join with Jeevan Toki. So I do join him for the product update. So each month we go through and we spend 10, 15 minutes at the back end of that product update, going through and just talking about what's happening within the SMSF industry, looking at a specific topic. If you didn't know that, then I would suggest joining us. There's a great opportunity for you to tap in and find out what's actually happening. And the final thing I wanted to touch on is our SMSF Day events coming up as well. We are sort of traveling around at very similar times to BGL here as well. BGL has been a long time partner of these events since we kicked them off in 2016. We do have a 15% BGL discount coupon code available for you. You can see there, if you do want to register and join us for one of these events around Australia, make sure you put in the code to get 15% off our standard ticket price. So that is pretty much it. If you've got any questions, actually, I will finish off by sharing here, Norman, the actual page for the courses. So there is a Smarter SMSF page. If you go to bgl.com/SMSF courses, so you can see that Smarter SMSF courses. You will see here the information about both of those courses. You can click here to learn more about the membership offer. We've done some videos that explain both our foundations and essentials course, and all of the course information is available here as well. And as part of today's follow-up, we'll make sure you get a link to this page so that you can see a little bit more about that, and if you want to look at registering. That is it, Norman. I think from me, if anyone has any other questions, more than happy to take those now. We've got the contact details from us, as you can see on the screen now. Other than that, thank you to everyone that has joined us for today. If you've got any other questions, please let us know. But I hope to see you and support you on your SMSF education journey.